Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Very Little Nightmares theory video. If you haven't played Very Little Nightmares, I will put a link where you can purchase the app in the description below. I will also put a link to the official Little Nightmares Twitter page in the description too, just in case you want to follow it. That's if you don't already. And of course, before we get into the actual theory of the video, this is your spoiler warning for Very Little Nightmares. And in today's theory video, we're going to be talking about the Pretender and why she was crying at the end of the cliff. And of course, this video is again going to contain some spoilers. So let's begin. Who is the Pretender? She is a character from Very Little Nightmares and one of the most interesting, underrated characters in the Little Nightmares universe. Her description from the official Little Nightmares Twitter page is as follows. This pint-sized lady of the nest loves her playthings, and anything that's not her toy doesn't last long in her nursery. She has a long silverish white hair that is tied up into a high ponytail with a fringe that covers her eyes, a long green and white noble dress, and red lipstick that is smeared, giving her the old "I just stole my mum's lipstick" #rebel look. But do not let her innocent look fool you. She is very bratty and very dangerous. She has a type of power that will make you vanish forever with a single touch. She makes children disappear, and she will not think twice in doing so. Her quarters are littered with pictures of previous children of the nest, who have now become nothing but her playthings. Her name being the Pretender is pretty self-explanatory. She seems to be obsessed with copying the lady. Everything from statues of herself to imitating the lady's paintings to owning a book about them all. It's very clear that the Pretender doesn't want to pretend. She wants to be the lady. Her spoiled behaviour as a character is taken to a new level when she wants to own you by turning you into a doll. Even though her character is a bossy, spoiled and bad-tempered one, it's still hard to not feel sorry for her. Crazy, right? There is a particular scene in Very Little Nightmares where her character is cracked and remorse is shown. It's such a powerful moment in the game, as for a split second you see she isn't this unremorseful enemy. She's just a lonely child surviving in the world of Little Nightmares. So before we continue on, I'm going to show you the ending in all its glory without me voicing over it, so you get a picture of what is actually going on and what we're talking about. So take a look. I know this sounds absolutely batshit stupid, but does her voice not sound like a signalled voice, like a transmission? Because there's that like kind of reverby echo to it. Either she's a doll, or her voice doesn't work, or what if she's something to do with the signal tower as well? But yeah, it sounds very auto-tuney, like it's not real. It sounds like her voice is artificial. Ah! It's very interesting. As you can see, there is a doll ripped apart on the floor in front of her. The same doll that we see flop off the chair and fall to the floor before quickly being taken away by the Pretender and shouted at for it. This doll was also a child we saw earlier in the game. So, is this why the Pretender was crying? It could be partly, but I don't think the ripped doll is why she's crying. I think it's more of the fact she ripped the doll. I theorise that it is, as I said earlier, she's lonely. Now, of course, no one's disputing the idea that she's lonely because she's causing it. I think this is a part of the fact that she has this power that is more like a curse and that she can't control. As soon as she sees another child, it's as if the switch is flipped and anger takes over her. So, to try and to compensate for her loneliness, the craftsman seems to be using the clothes of the victims to create them again, as if they can be fixed. Her name seems to reveal another meaning too when you see this, as if she's always pretending to have friends, pretending to have tea parties, pretending not to be vulnerable. Another important note to make is that the butler's description on the official Little Nightmares Twitter page, and it states, his head is always bowed to his mistress, the mistress being the pretender. Her title could mean that both her parents are deceased. We previously did a theory on the channel about how the hanging man could have been the father, but with the pretender being in charge, this tells me that her mother could also not be around anymore too. Maybe she is deceased also, adding to her sadness, her loneliness, and her uncontrollable behaviour, and her lack of ability to control her emotions. It could be why she idolizes the lady so much, as the lady has a dark power too, but is able to control hers, and was once looked up to by children she took care of. After all, they say copying is the best form of flattery. Or is this the pretender seeing a similarity in their characters? She is also very isolated. The nest is high in the sky above the ocean, and the only way to get up there seems to be a hot air balloon. The complete opposite to being deep in the ocean like the moor. Both very much hidden, and both run very differently now than what they would have been before once upon a time. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching this very short theory video. I would really like to hear what you think about the pretender and why she's crying in the comments below, or even at me on Twitter. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if the length is too small, too long. I doubt it'll be too long, but let me know what you think. I'm enjoying doing the shorter theories, more to the point, less faffle, but let me know what you think, because it would ultimately rely on what you, ladies and gentlemen, do think. But with that being said, I hope you have a lovely morning, day, or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Little Nightmares theory video. Bye.